everyone. I hope you guys are doing great and staying safe with your family and friends out there. Thank you so much for your response to my first video, and I'm so glad to hear that some of you found the video helpful. I will be making more of those videos in the future. Today, I will be talking about how we are impacted by COVID 19. Now, some of us would be going through a certain type of emotion while others would be feeling differently. And either way, it is quite normal and quite okay to have a different type of feelings going on. For example, someone would be struggling with the emotion of fear and anxiety, while another person would be feeling sad, low, or depressed mood. And we might even have people who are feeling frustrated and angry about this situation. We might even have a group of people who find the situation as an opportunity to have some spiritual awakening and work towards certain goals on daily basis, and then feel those momentarily or those moments of joy and happiness in their life as well. Now, all of these are very normal and they're all okay to have depending on which one you're going through, and that is important because if there is an emotion you're dealing with and it's getting in the way of your life and it's consuming you on daily basis, then this video is for you. Just to be clear, even though I am focusing on how we're being impacted, the focus of this video is more towards the emotion of fear and anxiety, because I've noticed in the last few weeks that I have been working with my clients that this particular emotion seems to be a lot more common compared to the rest of the emotions. Before I start with what we can do about these emotions, I would like to make a differentiation between what is fear and what's anxiety. Now, fear is an emotion that is happening right in front of you right now, and it requires an immediate attention and immediate action from you. In other words, fear is something that is presently happening and it is posing danger to you and to your life. One example would be you're crossing the street, a car shows up, and by the time you see the car, there's adrenaline, a rush in your body, you feel the energy, and then you jump towards the sidewalk to save your life. So this would be an example of an immediate danger right in the present moment that requires your immediate response. However, anxiety, on the other hand, is about feeling worried about something that may or may not happen to you in the future. There is uncertainty about that because there's that may or may not happening to you. And also, there is that worry about something that is not right in front of you right now so that you can do something about it, but it's way in the future. So, unfortunately, this is the type of emotion that seems to be causing a lot of difficulty for people in day to day life. Part of the adrenaline rush is that there's that side effect of feeling dizzy, shaky, lightheaded, feelings of I'm going to faint, chest pain, and all those symptoms that are often associated with anxiety. Now, the question is, why do these happen to people? Well, there are so many reasons to why this is happening. One example would be that you have the genetic vulnerability, that you inherited the genes that got activated due to stressful event in your life, or it can be a chemical imbalance in your brain, or it can be associated with certain drugs or medications that you're taking. And by drugs, I mean those type of drugs. For example, cocaine would be more associated with producing anxiety, or even the legalized marijuana that we have right now. The higher level of THC is associated with anxiety too. It can be also psychiatric condition. For example, if you're suffering from another disorder, then you are more likely to have anxiety as well. In some cases, even things like caffeine can, if you have a large amount of caffeine in your body, that can produce anxiety in your body as well. There are some psychological factors apart from these physiological ones, and the psychological ones are how do you view the situation that seem to be posing a threat in the future for you. For example, if you're someone who constantly thinking about, oh, this is bad, what is going on is going to hurt me and my family, what I need to do in this case, what am I going to do, what is the solution for this problem. So your brain is constantly trying to find out an answer that may or may not exist in this case. This is why there can be a cycle of worry that your mind would be, staying stuck in that zone. So the psychological factor, as I mentioned, that your thought pattern of how do you see and how do you talk about this situation or any situation would this tend to maintain or even increase your anxiety. Another factor that can be associated psychologically is the developmental process of what kind of childhood you've had, what kind of problems you've faced in life, and if you developed a feeling of that, whatever happens to me is outside of my domain of control and I cannot do anything about it. Or if you're someone who thinks that I can always change something about the situation, and if not the situation, about myself in this case, I can change my own thoughts, I can change my own feelings. I'm going to monitor my own state of mind per se. So what can be done in this kind of situation? Well, first, if some of the things that I will be mentioning is so common sense, or you guys have googled it so many times so you know the answer, but I'm going to repeat it anyway. And even if I can, I'm going to demonstrate some of the examples of how I use it on myself when I feel anxious, or when I work with my clients, how do I practice some of these techniques. So the first thing is, again, very common sense. Diet plays a role in what your brain is doing. In other words, almost up to 30% of whatever you eat goes to your brain, and your brain has these needs such as protein, such as amino acid and glucose, and these are the food that your brain needs. And in case you have a diet that is not consistent with what your body's and your brain's nutritional needs are, then let's say you are creating more vulnerability for your mindset. So this is all important, to pay attention to your mind, to your diet, and be mindful of your diet at this point, and try to consume more healthy type of diet if you can in this case. Number two would be to, one thing that I mentioned in one of my posts on Facebook was that to limit the sources of information that are coming to you, especially in this case is news. If you want to kind of reduce the number of times that you tune into the news, and instead focus on certain activities that produce pleasurable feelings in you. That could be watching your favorite movie, that could be playing with your children, or that could be talking or FaceTiming a friend and talking about some good memories, some good stuff that you guys did in the past. So it is very purposeful, and it's quite intentional with what you are trying to achieve in this case, which is pleasurable mood state. Another thing that can help is that some people, when the weather is nice here in Canada, I don't know about the rest of the world, but when the weather is nice, we have people who go outside for a walk, and that can be also helpful. Exercise is often exercise is often associated with the release of those chemicals in our brain that makes us feel good. And I think one of them, if I remember correctly, is dopamine and serotonin that makes us feel good. So physical activity can be quite helpful. Another thing is that overall, you would like to make some lifestyle changes, and that lifestyle changes can be your daily routine of how you're going to have your day. In other words, you're going to make a mental mind or mental note of that today I'm going to do this in the morning, and then I will do this in before lunchtime, and then I will do this during lunchtime. So kind of try to make a mental schedule of how your day should look like. Now we're going down to the last piece, which is about breathing. Now when we're in the anxiety mode or state of mind, we tend to have quite shallow breathing. We tend to breathe from our chest and not so much from our lungs, or deep down breathing. So it is very helpful to control and kind of regulate your breathing. I'm going to demonstrate an example to help you with breathing practice. So what I would like you to do is that when you are inhaling, I would like you to count 5, and when you have that breath in, so I would like you to hold for 3, and then once you held your breath, I would like you to exhale and count till 7. That is 7. Yes, that is 7. So please do this with me, and I'm going to show it as well to you how to do regulated breathing. Okay, ready? Here we go. All right, so here's the inhale process, and I like to put my hand on top of my belly so that I can, feel that the air is going all the way to my lungs. Okay, here we go. Oh, wrong, here. So that's an example of 5 inhale, 3 hold, 7 exhale. Please do this at least 2-3 times a day, maybe 10 set of this regulated breathing. All right, that is the video for today. I hope you guys are looking after yourselves. Your mental health is so important, maybe even more important during these times. And especially if you're a parent, then you are, even your health is even more important, because you have to be there for your children, and even parents of pets. You have to be there for your pets too. So I would like you to please look after yourself and take good care of yourself. And I will see you guys in the next video. Have a great day and stay safe.